All right, just sit back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device. All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, May the 24th, 2023. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Don't tell me what to do.
All right, don't say hello, gentlemen, then.
I'm not going to say hello, gentlemen. I'm going to say hello to everyone.
Say hello to everyone.
Hello, everyone. All four.
All three of you out there.
I'm not saying hello to anybody.
You look like you're in a witness protection program over there.
He is.
Well, I should be.
Dark, shadowy character that you are.
Yeah. He just did an episode of Dark Shadows, so.
Yeah, that's right. You guys are kind of matching. I didn't get the.
You didn't get the
note that we were
Diamondbacks,
supposed to wear some sort of strange red.
Get the red shirt memo.
You can get the red shirt.
I don't own a red shirt. So.
There you go. Well, you're closer to Arizona than either of us, so.
No, I have
but why would I root for the Arizona Diamondbacks? Oof. God.
Well, they are playing better ball than they've played in years so far this year. So
yeah. Well, good for them.
Good for them.
Good for them.
It's always a good thing. All right, I got a couple questions for you. Actually, I got one here. This thing came across my desk, if you will. Let me throw this. My desk, if you will. My desktop, more likely than
came in the mail.
Came in the mail, right?
Yeah. Susie brought it into you and said, "Hey,
right.
You might want to read this
screenshot from a Fox Toledo news article, news story. So it's cheeseburger stabbing. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So now I got to ask you both: is this somebody stabbed someone else over a cheeseburger? Is this someone stabbed someone else with a cheeseburger? Someone stabbed a cheeseburger? A cheeseburger stabbed someone? Or a cheeseburger stabbed another cheeseburger?
You know, it's interesting. I'm looking at this. I'm thinking, who fit his suit and why is she dressed like Paula Poundstone? He looks like a 12-year-old who's going to his first wedding. Right. And she looks like Paula Poundstone, which is great for Paula Poundstone, but maybe not for anybody else. I'm guessing there was a stabbing over a cheeseburger. Or maybe that cheeseburger is pretty big. Maybe it brandished a knife and stabbed somebody and said, "Fuck you."
Very well. See, and my thoughts exactly. It's a pretty damn big cheeseburger, if that is true to size.
Yeah, I could picture a hand with a knife coming out of that bun.
Exactly.
And then there's the cheeseburger.
And then it's the cheeseburger, right? Exactly.
I think it's none of the above.
None of the above.
I think somebody stabbed somebody over a cheeseburger.
Story. I think it's a James Harden story.
It's the James Harden story. There you go.
Yeah. Okay.
So, all right. Fair enough. And one other thing while we're at it, this was funny. I just wanted to throw this up there. I thought it was 1950. People said we will have flying cars. 2023. You get a Subway sandwich, and it says on the wrapper, "Do not eat this wrapper." So,
it should say, "Do not eat what is within this wrapper."
Within the wrapper, yes, that's true too.
Wow.
So, but I just thought that was amusing, so I just wanted to throw that up there. Anyway, I figured to kick it off with those little bit of humor there to kick off the show, because normally we don't. Normally it's sad and depressing start to these shows. So, anyway. Yeah, we had a trip a couple weeks ago down in Nashville for a while, and I got to tell you, went by as I normally do. Went by the stadium, went by the Titan Stadium. Cool area, right across the river from downtown. So it's in a pretty cool area. But who is typing away? Holy crap, that's loud. It was me. No. Anyway. But it was while I was down there, the weekend that I got down there, Taylor Swift was in town playing at the Nissan Stadium. And when I went there to, do my usual, pictures and, grab a hat from the pro shop, so to speak, There was still days later so much glitter all over the place from the Swifties, as they call them, and it was quite disgusting. I mean, it was pretty, but disgusting. It was pretty disgusting. So I just figured I'd share that. Yeah, the Swifties invaded Nashville while I was there, so that was fun. But in any event, how are you two gentlemen doing?
I'm a bit jealous. I've never been to Nashville, let alone when there were a bunch of Swifties there.
So there you go. There you go.
I don't think you should be complaining about that.
I was just I'll give you for instance. A friend of mine was there for the week as well, and he flew in on Saturday. He was supposed to come in on Sunday, and it was for a convention, and he got the convention rate for the extra night on Saturday night for his hotel room. And it wasn't any special hotel. It was like a DoubleTree, nice hotel, but nothing, not the Radisson or a Westin property or nothing huge, right? Nothing super supreme. It was a DoubleTree, nice property. But he got the convention rate for the extra Saturday night that he was there. If he didn't get the convention rate, his charge for that one night, that Saturday night at the DoubleTree in Nashville, would have been almost $1,000 for that room because of the Taylor Swift concert. And but nothing else.
Really, yeah.
I mean, the rate he got with the convention rate was not too
$998.
$998, right? Yeah. No, it was the high twos. It wasn't much lower than what the rate would have been normally on a Saturday.
Well,
night,
sure, right? Yeah. Look, they're gonna rake you if they can. So.
Well, I think the word you were looking for doesn't have a K in it; has a P in it, but that's besides the point.
Well,
yeah.
That's hoteliers are they are no saints.
Was this the only concert Taylor Swift is doing or something, or the only?
No, it's just wherever she is, that's what happens.
Yeah, somebody's got to explain. I mean, not right now, but
she has become.
I don't understand it. I know 50-year-old women who are obsessed with Taylor Swift, and I'm just
she has literally become the new.
She's no Taylor. She's no Taylor Dane.
She's not Taylor Dane by any stretch of the imagination. No, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
A Taylor Ham, closer to that.
Well, yeah. Well, good for her. I'm glad she's
good for her. Yeah, exactly. And hey, look, if you like her music and you like her, have at it. Knock yourself out. I just think
explain. Send us a note explaining why.
Why? Yeah, I mean,
I'm not being an asshole. I'm really curious.
More than any other musical act out there, she has just taken over the universe with her fan base and her rabid fan base and ticket sales and
who's the redheaded guy with the loop pedals?
Ed Sheeran.
Anyway,
Ed Sheeran, yeah.
If you maybe listen to both of them, I'd probably blow my brains out.
Gotcha. But so if you're listening to this, please write us into the Facebook page, easy peasy, and let us know what you why you are the way you are with Taylor Swift. So there you go. Anyway, all right.
I'm sure Dave Scardino is a huge Taylor Swift fan.
Oh, he is.
I think he does mashups. He does.
I think, yeah, he takes Dream Theater. He takes the music of Dream Theater and puts vocals of Taylor Swift.
Or vice versa, quite frankly.
Yes.
So,
Dream Swift. Taylor
Theater. That's more like it, actually.
Yeah.
All right. Let's kick it off with just I was going to say just a Swiftie.
Just a Swiftie. What is that? Where you spend
getting in your head?
Is that where you go to Nashville and cry in your hotel room?
Pretty much is what it boils down to.
Just a Swiftie MLB version.
Just a Swiftie MLB version. Now, just a quickie. Here we go. All right. Here we go. Need you to tell me the following. Here we go. Which team has been a bigger disappointment? Is a bigger disappointment? The 92 Mets season or the 23 Mets so far?
Pete, say the 92.
92? All right, Harry's saying 92. Pete.
You're assuming that I remember.
Well, I'll tell you the similarities. 1992, the Mets had the highest payroll in baseball. and they do again this year. In 1992, they had
none of this is going to mean anything. What happened at the end of the 92 season?
They sucked. They had the highest expectations and the lowest return. So
they were the Mets.
All right.
I mean, the only thing we have going for us, the Mets have going for them, I should say. The only thing the Mets have going for them this season is that they're only, 40 some odd games into the season so far. It's not the end of the season yet. So
right. So what was the question? Which is a bigger disappointment?
What was a bigger disappointment? The 92 Mets season in its entirety, or the 23 Mets so far this year?
I'll say the 23 Mets.
Yeah, I'm gonna agree with you. The 92 Mets, they were on a downturn from the heyday of the 80s and late 80s. And they were just trying to recapture some of that by throwing money at it, right? Of course, that's when they got Bobby Bonilla in the first place. That's the other similarity. Bobby Bonilla is on the payroll. He was on the payroll in 92. He's still on the payroll.
Yeah, that's
I will say the music
disappointment.
The music of 92 was way better, and far less.
92 was way better. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm going with Pete. Definitely the 23 Mets, not the 223 Mets, John. The 23 Mets. All right, cool. 1923. Yes.
1923 Mets were really disappointing. They didn't win one game.
They did not win a game at all.
No. They had for many years. They didn't win a game.
they didn't. Years. The Mets didn't win in 1923.
40
the Mets
years.
Didn't win a game for 39 years. They didn't win a game.
The 23 Mets didn't win a game for 39 years.
Yeah, that's right. It's amazing, amazing. All right. Let's blow right into speaking of that. Let's blow right into the quiz of the week. Top MLB catchers of all time. Top Major League Baseball catchers of all time. I'm going to give you 6. 4 got to stay. 2 got to go. You know the drill. Write these down. What
do we do? Do we write them down?
You write them down.
We got to write them down.
Yeah. Write them down.
I'm going to try to remember like that cocky waiter. I'm just going to try to remember.
All right.
So, I don't know what happened to my.
Just rattle them off. Pete's going to pick somebody he doesn't like.
I got to post it.
He's going to put it on his pink Post-it. There we go.
I can't remember 6 things at once.
That's hard. It's hard.
Shoot.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Write these down. Here we go. Yogi Berra.
Yogi
Berra.
Systems
catcher. Ain't over till it's over. Johnny Bench. Johnny.
So far, I know which 2 are. I'm not having on my list.
Yeah, I don't think you need to go any farther. Whoever the next 4 are, those are my guys.
Yeah. I mean, I know the next one's going to be Gary Sanchez.
All right. Pudge Rodriguez. Ivan Rodriguez. Pudge Rodriguez. The man that Pudge Rodriguez got his nickname from, Pudge Fisk, Carlton Fisk. Michael Piazza. Mike Piazza. And let's round it out with Buster Posey.
Throwing a little
curveball
in there.
Buster Posey. So you got Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench, Ivan Rodriguez, Carlton Fisk, Mike Piazza, and Buster Posey. Harry, you go first this time.
This is a tough one. I mean, Buster Posey, I think, has the 3rd highest career batting average of any catcher.
He didn't suck.
No. He did play first base for a while, but
most of these guys did at some point.
Yeah. And what did he win? 3 World Series.
He won 3.
He was also an MVP. Yogi stays. Bench stays. That's easy. Fisk stays. So I got to pick 4, huh?
Yeah, pick one more between Pudge Rodriguez.
Maybe not Fisk. I don't know. I always hated Carlton Fisk. So even though he's great, fuck him.
All right. A little,
Just 'cause I
a little,
fucking hated him.
little Pete theory. There you go.
Yeah, he was just an asshole. So I'm gonna go Yogi, Johnny Bench, Pudge Rodriguez. And I'm gonna go Buster Posey.
All right. You're going Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench, Pudge Rodriguez, and Buster Posey. All right, Radio Pete, please give us your 4.
Well, obviously, Bench has to stay.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I think Posey has to stay. Pudge has to stay. I don't like Carlton Fisk either.
Oh, that was Pudge. I was going to say Pudge. Which Pudge?
There's one Pudge.
There's 2 Pudges.
No, Fisk is not Pudge.
Fisk was the original Pudge.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
He's Carlton Fisk.
He's Carlton Fisk. Rodriguez is the. Piazza's the greatest offensive catcher other. Defensively, he was but he's a Met. So I'm going to get rid of Fisk, and I'm going to get rid of Yogi because
oh God,
he just had great teams around him. You could have
put
top
2 catchers of all time.
Systems catcher.
Anybody could have played catcher for those teams, and they would have won.
Sure.
So
anybody could have won.
Not saying he didn't play well, but it's not like he ever had to carry the team or anything.
Bill Dickey did the same thing.
He carried the team many times.
Bill Dickey did the same thing.
Yeah, I think Fisk and Piazza have to go.
Fisk and Piazza.
Yogi Berra was an 18-time All-Star, a 3-time MVP, and a 10-time World Series champion.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I got under your skin, mission accomplished. So Fisk, you're a jerk. Goodbye.
Fair enough.
And Mike, I love you, but you're not as good as the others on this list.
There you go. Fair enough. Now, if I said best hitting catchers of all time, that might change things. So,
yeah, then I'd have to get rid of Berra.
There you go. Well, Berra's, got a special place in Mets' hearts for not making quite the right moves in Game 7 of the '73 World Series, but we'll let that go. Anyway.
Is that what that's called? A special place?
Special place, right? Special place. Anyway. All right, cool. So you both agree. Yogi Berra, Johnny Bench, Pudge Rodriguez, and Buster Posey. Both of you have discarded Carlton Pudge Fisk and Michael
Piazza.
Piazza.
Orenthal. Michael Orenthal.
Pretty sure that was his middle name.
Sure, absolutely.
Speaking of Orenthal, a little sidebar. I saw a picture of Ahmad Rashad's wedding recently, and his 2 best men were Bill Cosby and O.J. Simpson.
Hey, Ahmad, you might have wanted to rethink that.
Good stuff.
There you go. All right. Cool. Well, there you go. That's nice. All right. Got the MLB question of the week for you.
All
right. Which is better right now?
Mm-hmm.
The New York Mets offensive production or the craft beer selection at Citi Field?
I can only know about one of those, so I'm guessing the craft beer selection is probably way better.
Pete?
Yeah, I would say.
I think we all 3 agree on that.
By craft beer, you mean they have Genesee on tap?
Genesee on tap was literally good enough to beat the first part of that. So there you go.
Yeah.
Well, now let me ask you guys a question of similar ilk.
Mm-hmm.
MLB question of the week B or 1B.
There you go.
Which is worse, the Mets offensive production or scurvy?
Scurvy.
Difficult.
Because if I personally had to deal with both of them, I could survive the Mets offensive production. Scurvy, well, I mean,
what? You got to eat a couple of limes.
I'll tell you what.
Eat some citrus and you're good.
You're good to go.
The question should be, what's going to come back into reality sooner, the resurfacing of scurvy or the Mets hitting? Yeah.
That's a hard question. That's a hard question.
Which will make a more prescient
which will show up in 2023, which has a greater likelihood of showing up yet this year. I'm going to go with scurvy.
I think you just might be right.
It's going to show up somewhere
at some point, right?
Yeah. There you go. Sailors.
I'm putting my money on scurvy.
No, I think that's a good idea. Safe bet. Call up DraftKings. You got it. All right. Fair enough. All right. That brings.
Name, by the way, Scurvy is a good band name.
Scurvy is a good band name. It really, really is. All right. That brings us to our rapid fire quiz.
Oh no!
Is it time? Let's get going.
It is time.
Let's get that music going. There we go. All right, fair enough. All right. MLB history rapid fire quiz. Let's throw the crawl up there for it. Last 2 weeks ago.
Pete won, right?
No, tied again. Twice in a row. 4 weeks ago it was tied 3-3. 2 weeks ago it was tied 2-2.
I think Pete's going to win this week. I feel it.
All right.
And in the Mutual Admiration Society. Oh, no, that was the draft.
That was the draft.
We sort of tied in the draft because Harry thought that I should win, and I thought that Harry
should
win.
We both did okay, though. We both did
good. You both did good. Fair enough. Yeah. All right. So let's get it going. Pete, you ready for your question number 1?
I'm ready.
All right, Pete. What is 2 + 2?
Scurvy.
Right, exactly.
Correct.
All right, here we go. Pete, question number 1. Who fired the shot heard round the world? Who?
Wasn't it Paul Revere?
It was Paul Revere, right? Who fired the shot heard around the world?
Is this a baseball question?
Yes. Major League Baseball history rapid fire quiz. I hope I asked you a baseball question.
John Morant.
John Morant, right?
Shot fired.
Plaxico Burress.
Yeah, no, Morant never fired it.
Oh, that's Plaxico Burress, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Who fired the shot heard round? Well, first of all, do you know what the shot heard round the world was? Do you remember that?
Is it a home run?
Yeah.
All right. So that was Bobby Thompson, right?
Bobby Thompson. Very good. You got it. All right. Good job. All right. So that's a P for you. All right. Hello. All right. What's this doing? Come on. Stop spinning. Never mind. Okay. Cancel that. All right. No, we're not printing. There we go. All right. Bobby Thompson. Question number 2, Pete. Ready?
Ready.
Who has the most career wins in Major League Baseball history? Obviously, we're talking a pitcher, not a team. Who has the most career wins in Major League Baseball history?
Is it Cy Young?
Very good. Cy Young, 511. 511.
Yeah, that's dubious, though.
Yeah, Bobby Thompson was 1951, by the way, just in case you were wondering. All right, so that's 2. And Pete, question number 3 for you. Who has the most strikeouts in a single season in Major League Baseball history?
Pitching?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Not who struck out the most.
Because that's an interesting question, too. Is it still Dave Kingman?
Yeah, right. It would be, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Who has the most strikeouts, again, as a pitcher, in a single season in Major League Baseball history?
I guess I'll say Nolan Ryan, although I don't think that's correct.
Nolan Ryan would be correct. Very good.
Oh, all right.
383. 383.
Wow.
All right. Pete, you're 3 for 3. Very good. All right, the pressure is on, Harry. You ready?
Well, that's since 1900, though. Wasn't there somebody earlier on who I don't know his name, but yeah. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
Oh, who's like in 1894
Yeah.
struck out?
Yeah, like 500 or something like that. It doesn't matter.
That's a good question. Yeah.
All right.
I just remember that sticking in my head for some reason.
All right. Question number 1 for you. What is 2 plus 2?
Yeah, Justin Verlander.
What was the launch velocity of the shot heard around the world?
112 miles per hour.
There you go.
Exactly 57 degrees.
All right, Harry. Question number 1. Who has the most walks in a single season in Major League Baseball history?
Like by a pitcher?
No, I'm sorry. Batter. Who has the most walks? Batter has what batter has the most walks? I'll say that from now on. What batter has the most walks in a single season in Major League Baseball history?
It's got to be Barry Bonds, right?
It is Barry Bonds. Very good. 230.
I think before that, it might have been Don. Oh no, he's hit by a pitch. There was somebody, I forget who else. I think it might have been Don Baylor or somebody like that before him. But yeah,
gotcha. 232 walks in a single season.
Yeah, and that was the year he broke the home run record too. Wasn't it?
Yeah. So was he either walked or he hit a home run?
Yeah,
pretty much.
His on base percentage was like 953.
All right, now hang on before you continue. You're absolutely right about the strikeouts. However, there's seven guys who had more strikeouts than Nolan Ryan in a single season.
But they don't even have photographs of them, just drawings.
So we're talking 1884, 1880, like 5 of them are from 1884.
Right.
Yeah.
And they all the minimum. Nolan Ryan did it in 326 innings. The minimum innings for anybody else on the list above him is 500.
Right.
Imagine pitching 500 innings in a season. Some guys don't pitch 500 innings in their fucking career.
Well, these guys, that's because they had 2 pitchers on the team, so every other day they were pitching.
Yeah.
But still, that's just crazy.
That's crazy.
But yeah, so you have a guy like Hugh Daly, who's number 3.
Yeah.
Who, when he was 36 years old, pitched 483 innings and struck out 500. Right. No, pitched 500 innings and struck out 400.
And he worked a full-time job.
Yeah, that was between selling.
He was a carpenter.
And he was also the first baseman.
He threw the ball and ran to first base.
Right.
Yeah.
He built the bleachers in right field
while pitching.
Yeah.
But in the modern era, it's Nolan Ryan.
Yeah, Nolan Ryan. Yeah. There you go. All right, fair enough. Okay, so Barry Bonds was question number 1. Harry, question number 2. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Who has the most career? What pitcher? Sorry, we'll do it again.
Mm-hmm.
What pitcher has the most career losses in Major League Baseball?
Oh, that's interesting. I know this. It's Cy Young, right?
It's also Cy Young, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. There you go. So, Cy Young, 316.
Wow.
So
How many wins? 700 or something?
511. So he's 5'11" and 316 for his career.
I'll take that. That sounds
exactly good. Right. All right. Question number 3. Here we go. Who has the what? Excuse me. What? Who had? Well, this doesn't matter. Who has the most career runs scored in Major League Baseball history?
I want to say it was Ty Cobb, but somebody beat him. Is it Ricky Henderson? I'm going to go with Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson.
Yeah.
Ricky Henderson be wrong.
Ah.
Would be wrong. Radio Pete for the steal.
That was my guess too. Most runs scored.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I can't think of who else it would be unless it's somebody.
I don't know.
Can I look it up real quick?
Like we're talking all career.
Career.
Or like
who has the most career runs scored in Major League Baseball history?
I don't know. Is it Barry Bonds?
Is not Barry Bonds. You want to keep going? It doesn't matter. You both got it wrong. Or you want me to just tell you? Unless Harry,
tell me.
No,
I haven't looked it up. I could have sworn 3. Ricky Henderson was 3. What's 3? His number was 3.
Correct.
I don't know. God, I don't know.
Who was number 3?
Who was number 3?
Ted Williams?
No. The
Babe Ruth?
The colors are the same too, yeah.
Babe Ruth.
Babe Ruth. 2,174 career runs scored.
Wow.
2000 what?
2,174 career runs scored.
All right, I'm going to look this up because I'm
not RBIs, runs scored.
Okay, I'm looking it up on baseballreference.com, and Ricky Henderson is number 1. Ty Cobb is number 2. Barry Bonds is number 3. Hank Aaron is number 4. Tied with
Aaron would have been my next guess.
2,174. Ricky Henderson has 2,295.
No. Hold on. I'm going to pull up where I pulled it up from.
Well, it's Babe. You have Babe Ruth as 2,174?
2,174, yes.
Yeah, Ricky Henderson's 2,295.
Hold on a second here. Hold the phone.
John and his alternative sources.
Did
you get that off of BabeRuth.com?
What'd you ask Joe Rogan? Jordan Peterson.
I actually asked Jeeves.
Remember
this
that?
actually has baseball. What do you look at? Baseball Reference, right? This actually has Aaron, and Ruth tied.
Yeah, at 4th, with Bonds 3rd, Cobb 2nd, and Ricky Henderson 1st.
Well, here's the thing. I got it off of.
You got it off of Dr. Vinny Boombatz's.
I got it off of. I got it off of Ask Jeeves from 1984.
That makes sense.
Let's do a
but it doesn't make sense though. It doesn't make sense because if Ty Cobb, okay, like if this site is newer than Ricky Henderson's record. But even if it was older than Ricky Henderson's record, it's certainly
I remember when Henderson broke Cobb's.
But it's certainly not old. But my point is, it's certainly not older than Ty Cobb's record.
Well, no, and then Bonds also came close. I think isn't Bonds like 2nd or 3rd?
Bonds 3rd, yeah. Bonds is
3rd, yeah.
I'm on Baseball Reference, but the other site has, where unfortunately I got it from. Has Babe Ruth? Well,
I'm wrong. I'm wrong based on the wrong site, but I'm right based on.
Well, BabeRuth.com has him listed 4th with 2,174.
No, I believe Baseball Reference. Trust me, but it's just odd that because
I'm not kidding.
BabeRuth.com.
BabeRuth.com.
I gotta go to BabeRuth.com.
You know that's got to be the correct.
That's right.
They couldn't get it wrong on Babe Ruth.
That's where I get all my clothing.
Well, you know what's funny? There's
Comes with a pack of hot dogs and a gimlet.
On this particular
you have one
thing-
of their hot dog jackets.
It's
It's
right.
marvelous. Got the things to keep the condiments right
Really
there.
nice. It's like a good smoking
What
jacket.
really sucks? What really sucks is
Penicillin
that,
pouch.
what really sucks is that I've 4 of these lists so far. I've gotten the questions off of this site. The first 3 weeks, so 2 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, and 6 weeks ago, I vetted the questions. I looked at them. I researched them. I looked it up just to make sure they were correct, and they were always spot on, right? Numbers and everything. So this week I didn't.
You trust them.
Well, it's been 18 questions so far. They were all right? So, well, what are you gonna do? All right. Well, then he said Ricky Henderson, and he's got that right. It's Ricky Henderson. So
we are tied again.
tied yet again. All right. So there you go.
Both of us 3 for 3, though. That's pretty
3 for
amazing.
3.
I didn't think I'd get
That
3
is
right.
good. There you go. Fair enough. Very nice. All right. Cool. I want to throw this out there. This does not count or anything else, but I'll just throw this out there. The first question I asked Pete, Bobby Thompson fired the shot heard around the world. Who threw the pitch?
Ralph Branca.
Very good. Ralph Branca.
Ralph Cramden?
Ralph Cramden, right.
Ralph Ruth, according to
Ralph.
BabeRuth.com.
Ralph Ruth.
That's right.
Ralph Branca. And question number 2. Who did Ralph Branca's daughter marry?
Babe Ruth.
Ricky Henderson.
Was it Bobby Thompson?
Yeah, right.
Bobby Thompson's son?
You got right. You got Bobby right, but not Thompson.
Ralph Branca's daughter.
Bobby De Niro?
No.
Bobby Bonds?
Not Bobby Bonds either, no.
The hell is that?
Bobby-
What?
I'm hearing a
Bobby-
beeping noise. I gotta log off and come back on. Something's going on. Do you guys hear that on your end?
No, not at all.
Nope.
All right. I don't know what's going on here.
All right. Bobby, day you celebrate in, let's put it this way. All right, I'll say it like this. He was once caught wearing a fake mustache.
Valentine?
Very good. Bobby Valentine. Yeah.
Really?
Bobby Valentine married Ralph Branca's daughter. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So there you go. There you go. All right, cool. And there you have it. And as we fade out the music for the week, weird fact of the week. There we go. Just fading out the music here. Weird fact of the week. Ralph Kiner. We all remember Ralph Kiner, right?
Yeah.
Okay. He is the only player to ever lead the league in homers for 7 years in a row, and it was his first seven seasons in the major leagues.
Really?
Yeah. Ralph Kiner is the only player to ever lead the league in home runs for 7 years in a row, and it was his first 7 years in the league. So there you go. Interesting, weird fact of the week. So there you go. All right. Well, I thought you had it, Pete. I thought you finally won.
Well, listen, it's
But it doesn't matter because if the one question, while I was doing that, I was looking at the other 5 questions. The other 5 questions are correct. The one question out of 24 that I don't check, that's wrong. There you go.
And Harry gets the right answer.
And Harry gets the right answer. So, but there you go. I think he's back.
Well, listen, I think the new format is making it competitive. So
There you go. Harry, you're in the dark.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
All right, cool. Well, and there's the Pete look, and is he back? There you go. Let's all adjust our cameras so we all.
There we go.
There we go. I can't do it. I gotta just. There we go. Oh, he's gone again.
Oh, he's gone.
That's weird. That's on my phone. All right. And he's back. There he is. With a video and everything. There he is.
Hey,
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you.
we could hear you, but your
Did you-
screen was like this.
I
Yeah.
can't hear you guys. I don't know what's going on.
You can't hear us? Can you hear me?
What?
All right.
Go down to your car.
There we go.
Technology.
Yeah, brand new computer. Hopefully nothing's going wrong with it. I don't know what's going on.
Can you hear now?
I can hear you now.
All right, beautiful. Did you
Yeah,
hear the
you
did you hear the weird fact of the week?
What's the weird fact of the week?
Ralph Kiner is the only player to ever lead the league in home runs for 7 years in a row, and it was his first 7 years in the big leagues.
And good for Ralph.
There you go.
After that, he hit 4 home runs for the rest of his career.
That's right. Except for those guys in 1876 that
Yeah, this is very true. This is very
the guy
true.
who led the league in wins also led the league in home
They
runs.
had
Well, his grandson wanted to, pick up where he left off.
Right.
they had 3,400 at bats and hit
Exactly.
119 home runs in that one season.
Very true. All right.
All right, what else?
That brings us to there we go. Let me pop this back up here. Brings us to our top 5. Our top 5 this week is top 5 surprises in the NBA and NHL playoffs this year. Surprise. There we go. So we'll just throw them up. Basically, just going to throw them up once. We all have our own top 5, but my top 5 and Harry's top 5 are identical. Pete's is one off, so we're just going to go through the 6 that we have. So we'll start with number 5. It's everybody's number 5, and that would be the Seattle Kraken.
Go Kraken.
Go Kraken. Obviously, didn't think that they were going to lose to the Stars.
They got the expansion bump.
They got the expansion bump. And yeah, definitely a surprise. So good job, Seattle, on that one.
Yeah. Next time, don't steal your logo from the Mariners.
This is true.
Look, your jerseys could be magnificent. You have a mythical sea creature and you do something with that. It could be the coolest jersey ever.
Exactly.
Anyway.
And you really, really should have done something with it. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Great
hire me.
name.
I'll make you a shirt.
Yeah.
I'll make you a jersey. It'll be nice.
Just lazy on the logo.
Lazy on the logo. So now I will give him this though. I could see if that S, right? If it was also used by the Seahawks and they wanted to keep everything in Seattle uniform, right?
Well, they want to keep everything blue and green and
Well, whatever. The colors are fine, but it doesn't have.
They're all
It
the
didn't have to be
same.
it's all the same, right? So
they're all the same.
exactly. So all right, bringing it to number.
I want a Kraken coming out of the sea choking Eddie Vedder. That's what I want.
That would be great. That would be a great logo. We'll have to work on that. We'll work on that.
Yes.
All right. That was number 5. Number 4, we have 4A and 4B. This is where Pete's one is different. So we'll do that. 4A is the LA Lakers. Harry, why don't you tell us about the LA Lakers and why they surprised you?
It's not a huge surprise, but considering where they were in the beginning of the season, and considering that they were having to, get into the play-in round, I don't know. I think they made some great moves. I think obviously cutting out the cancer and getting some other players in there has made this team one of the best in the NBA this year. And I didn't see that coming. I'll be honest with you. I didn't have them getting past Golden State. They did, and I give them credit. So there you go.
There you go.
A little bit of a surprise to me.
A little bit of surprise. A surprise to me too. Yeah.
Pete had them. When they were 6 games out of the playoffs, Pete had them winning the championship.
This is true. Yeah, he did.
I just said if they stay healthy, watch out. They're dangerous.
They are.
They are.
All right. 4B is Pete. Pete, take that away. Tell us what your 4B is.
4B is the New Jersey Devils. Not entirely. Well, a little surprised that they lost because who knew the Panthers were going to be more of a hurricane than maybe even the Carolina Hurricanes. So not a little bit of a surprise that they lost, but just the way that they lost, getting blown out in 3 games by at least 4, 2 of those games by 5 and another one by 4 goals. was a bit surprising. Now, they did have a big 8-4 win, but that was really a 6-4 win, and I think a couple of empty netters. And then finally, Game 5 was exciting and low scoring, and they lost in overtime. But getting blown out 5-1 and 6-1 and 6-1 was a real surprise for me.
Yeah, not Devils hockey, that's for sure.
No, especially after the first round where they, struggled against the Rangers and then seemed to figure it out and started using their speed and started kind of playing Devils hockey, and came back to win that series. But then to just not show up for 3 out of those 4 games, or out of those 5 games, was pretty surprising.
Right. There you go. Fair enough. All right. That brings us to number 3. We all agree on the Miami Heat. Definitely a surprise. But the way they're playing certainly doesn't look like it should have been a surprise. Same as, basically same as LA, right? LA was the 7 seed that had to do a play-in. And the Heat were an 8 seed that had to do a play-in.
They lost their first play-in.
They lost their first play-in.
They did.
And then,
they did.
And then they won their second one, which made them the 8th seed. And then, and they just it was all downhill from there. So,
right, and you could say, oh well, they went to the finals a couple of years ago, and Jimmy buckets, and it shouldn't be that much of a surprise. But to do that twice in a row, or not twice in a row, but 2 times in that short a span of year, to have that kind of success is surprising. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. And they're doing all right. They're I don't know. Jimmy Butler is one of those guys who there's been a lot of great small forwards in the history of the NBA playoffs, but he's right up there with the best of them. And he's one of those guys that if you want, he might be the top of my list right now of guys that I want on my team. Come playoff time. I mean, he's right there, right at the top.
Very true. All right. That brings us to number 2. Number 2, Pete just referred to them before, the Florida Panthers. And we found out last week that there are actually indigenous Panthers to Florida.
I don't know if they're indigenous, but they're there.
Well, they're indigenous now. Maybe they weren't originally, but
yes.
That's not like a.
I mean, are like as many of the residents of Florida. They weren't originally indigenous. Now they are.
Right. Yeah. No, it wasn't like there was a big.
They moved there
from a zoo 4 years ago, and
there's no bears. There's no bears in Chicago anymore, unless you go to certain clubs on Thursday nights. But yeah, it's.
All right, gotta write that one down. It's 48 minutes. Okay, good. But yeah, no, you're right. So anyway, the Florida Panthers, yes, big. The way they've been playing, I would not shock me one bit to see them just fly right through the Stanley Cup championship.
We'll let you know in a couple weeks.
We'll know. We'll know. So anyway. That brings us to number 1. And while these 4/5 teams have been on, happy surprises, number 1 might not be so happy, and that's the Boston Bruins. Total collapse. I mean, President's Cup curse yet again, right?
Well, like we've discussed this before. It's. I don't, you've seen this a little bit, but first round, I mean, it's a little shocking to me, but look who they lost to. They lost to a team that could very well be the champions.
This is very true.
Wouldn't it be something if you had two 8 seeds from Florida that win championships in the same year?
That would be amazing. That would be, and it could happen. It could very well happen.
They should hope that the Panthers win, because that's kind of the only way that they live this down.
Right.
Yeah. In any way,
Right.
And again, we'll say this: this was not just the President's Trophy.
It's the greatest regular season.
Yeah, ever.
Yeah.
This was the most points ever Best season ever
by anyone ever in the
out
history
in
of
the
league.
first round.
Out in the first round, yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there are whoever they supplanted as the greatest, having the greatest season ever, whoever that was, I don't know.
It was Montreal, actually, I think it was.
You know, if they didn't win, which they probably
did actually. Yeah.
Oh, did they? Okay. Yeah, I think
they
there
did.
were.
It was a long time ago.
There were like six teams that were that won the Presidents, and then went on to actually win the Stanley Cup, and like 18 or something that didn't. But you know, whoever the last one who had the best season ever before this year, and then didn't win, that was a big shock. That was a huge surprise. Well, that's why this is a huge surprise too, because these guys were even better than that team, whatever that team was, and they not only didn't win, but they went out in the first round. That's huge.
The team, just looking at here, they had 135 points. The team that they supplanted as having the most points would be the 2018-2019 Tampa Bay Lightning, and they lost in the first round as well. Next team down from that would be the 05-06 Detroit Red Wings with 124 points, and they lost in the quarterfinals. So there you go.
So hockey, who gives a shit?
Right.
Just start the playoffs then.
Just start the playoffs.
Why do we have regular seasons anymore?
Exactly. All right. Harry, is there no balls tonight?
No.
I didn't think so. All right, cool. Well, there you go. There's our top five. So top five surprises in the NBA and NHL playoffs this year. All right. We have a other sports, just a quickie. All right.
Lots of quickie things that all combined take an hour and a half.
Exactly. I got to ask you now. I'll ask you this. What was your most favorite Major League Baseball game, to the best of your knowledge, that you ever attended, where your favorite team was not playing?
That I attended in person?
You attended. You were in person. You were there at the ballpark watching the game where okay, Harry, the Yankees were not playing, but you were at a game. What your most favorite memory of a Major League Baseball game? You can do one old and one new if you want, if you even have them, because I'm gonna. So.
Well, I'm gonna go to something that's timely a little old now, a couple weeks old. But my first game I ever went to was Mets versus the Giants. Mm-hmm. So my first game was at Shea Stadium, and Vida Blue was pitching for the Giants. Nice. And he relatively recently has passed away, and I will always remember that. I think he won that game. I think he pitched like 8 innings, a shutout ball or something like that. But at the time you're a kid, you don't really understand the gravity of it. But it's it's kind of nice. It's not every day that you get to your first game. You get to see a Hall of Fame pitcher.
Sure.
So, yeah, I'm gonna go with that.
What year was it, by the way?
I don't know. I'm guessing it was. I don't know. Yeah, late 70s probably. Mm-hmm. Maybe 1980. I can't remember. Mm-hmm. But cool. And I can't remember who pitched for the Mets, but it was. I'd have to go back and really figure it out. But it was also. It was a good matchup. It was a good matchup. But yeah, and then it was I was fortunate enough to go to a Rockies game on the year they went to the World Series, where they really went on a heater towards the end of the year. And the atmosphere for that was amazing. I can't remember exactly what it was. It wasn't a playoff game. I think I've told the story before. I had second row seats for Game 5 of the World Series that year. That was the good part. The bad part is there was no Game 5 of the World Series that year. But just being in that atmosphere. I remember it being cold. I remember it was a couple days before it actually snowed during a playoff game for the Rockies. So I think it was the the game before they clinched a playoff berth or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, it was exciting. That was a great Rockies team and a great run. So yeah, I mean that's probably the two that I remember. I haven't been to a ton of Major League Baseball games outside of, probably been the most games I've probably been to has been here in Coors Field. I've been to a couple games in LA and San Francisco and others, but those are the two that jump out at me.
There you go. Very nice. Cool. RadioPete?
What was the question?
Salami or bratwurst?
Which is your favorite to eat as an appetizer?
Which is your favorite hot dog brand?
What is your most favorite Major League Baseball game memory of a game you actually attended where your team was not playing? So obviously that was not a Mets game.
Not a Mets game.
You do one old, one new. I'm doing it. Harry just did one old, one new.
It's too bad you weren't thinking about this while I was talking.
You were
favorite memory from a game where my team was not playing.
In other words, you were at a baseball game where the Mets were not playing. So you were at a whatever.
I've been to a few games where the Mets were not playing. They were on the field.
It was at Shea Stadium, but yeah.
Yeah.
I would say probably I went to visit a friend of mine who was living in Chicago.
Alrighty.
And we went to see the Cubs, which is great.
That's always a great experience.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And they were not good at the time. Surprise.
So it was sometime between 1923 and 2010.
Yeah. Yeah.
When did they finally win? What year? 2016.
It was. Well, let's see. It would have been.
Is it the Ryan Sandberg years?
No, it was after CSB, so it probably would have been like late 90s.
Late 90s.
Okay.
So it would have been the late 90s. I don't remember who they were playing. I just remember being there and, getting that feeling of, this is one of the holy houses of baseball. And the usher wouldn't let us, there was nobody at the game, and again, I can't remember who they were playing, but they were losing pretty big, and we wanted to sneak down. And Grandpa Usher wouldn't let us sneak down to get down right next to the field, even though all the seats were pretty much empty. So, but then I think he went to the bathroom, and so
I thought you were going to say then he died.
Well, then we killed him, and
we broke his hip and ran past him.
Yeah. So he was gone. We went to get, I don't know, a beer or whatever, and from the wherever. And then when we came back, we noticed he was not there, and so we snuck down anyway and got to watch the last couple of innings. So again, can't remember who they played. I know the Cubs lost, which I didn't care about because fuck, it was the Cubs. But I got to hang out with my friend Dave Brown and in a different city and see some of the Chicago sites and all that stuff. So
cool, very nice.
That's pretty cool.
All right. Is that your older or newer one, or are you just going with the one?
That's really the that's about the only one I've got.
That's it.
All
right.
The only other thing I remember, and this might be a Mandela effect, I want to say I was at a game. I thought it was a Yankee game. I have the name wrong. I want to say
you were just on acid in a Walmart parking
lot. No. This is when I was young. My dad was a Yankee fan, so we went to a few games. Man. I don't remember who the batter was. I want to say George Foster, but I don't know.
That's a name from the past. Big Red Machine.
I don't know why George Foster would be playing the Yankees.
He played for the Yankees for a while, didn't he, George Foster?
I don't know. Anyway, it might maybe it wasn't Foster. It was somebody named George. It wasn't George Brett, I don't think. Anyway, it was a big time batter named George. I think it was George Foster. And I think the Yankees were losing the game, and they had some rookie pitcher in.
He played for the Mets. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, he played for Cincinnati and the Mets, but
he didn't play for the Yankees, man.
They wouldn't have played the Yankees during the regular season.
Not then, no.
In '86, he played for the White Sox.
Maybe that was it then. Was it eight? Maybe it was '86, and the White Sox were in town.
He also played for Toronto in '85 or '86 as well. He played for 3 teams in '86.
That might have been it. That might, because I wanted to say Toronto, so maybe that was it.
He played the most games with Toronto that year.
That was probably it then. So anyway, some rookie pitcher for the Yankees struck out George Foster, and the Yankees were losing by like 8 runs or something. And I just remember this guy who, to me, is like, he's the quintessential Yankee fan, was sitting over, we were kind of down the third base line, and he was over closer to home plate. And the Yankees were getting trounced, but Foster got struck out, and the guy's yelling at him, "How do you like that, George? You got struck out by a rookie pitcher." And to me, that was just a great moment, because I was like, your team's getting the shit kicked out of them. But, you're going to hang your hat on George Foster struck out. They lost, but Foster got struck out by a rookie.
That's the difference between the Yankees you learn the difference between a Yankee and Met fan at that moment.
Yeah. To me, that was always like, that guy.
You got to stay tenacious. You got to stay tenacious.
We're gonna you might beat us, but we're gonna hang on to something that happened.
That's right.
So
we're gonna fuck with you no matter what.
That memory's always stuck with me.
There you go. Awesome. All right. My 2. Whatchamacallit? Well, I actually talked about both of them on the show before. 1978, I was at a Yankees Royals regular season game, and in the during batting practice, I got a Reggie Jackson foul ball up the first base line.
Nice.
So that was good. So that was that's a good memory. Enjoyed that one. I was there with my father and 2 other people. And and then the new one was just last year, as a matter of fact, in Pittsburgh at PNC Park. Shocker, right? And I talked about it. Pirates and the Cards. Pujols hit his last home run of his career, 703. Watched that go out. So that was pretty cool too. Yeah.
Oh wow, nice.
And there you have it. Yeah, enjoyed that. Yeah, the last home run he hit, I watched it go out in PNC Park. So that was a cool night.
So that one's for you, Johnny.
That was for me.
Done.
He pointed as he ran the bases. That was good. As he trotted.
Out.
Exactly.
Done.
All right, Pete, we got an over-under?
No.
No over-under tonight.
No.
All righty.
I am unprepared. I had to work too late.
That's all good. It's all good. All right. Well, anything you got anything to bring up? Because that about would wrap up the show.
You want a couple of weird Olympic rules?
Why not? We're doing that, right? Bring up a couple more. Do a couple.
Yeah. All right. So, just real quick, as if snowboarding isn't difficult enough.
I want to see snowboarding.
I would like to see when that becomes an Olympic sport. I may
pay attention a little bit more. Absolutely.
Snowboarding. As if snowboarding isn't hard enough. In the Olympics, snowboarders have to spin in 2 different directions. Not in the same jump, but you can't do all of the
same way.
Like skaters, they always jump. They always spin the same way when they jump. Snowboarders have to spin in 2 different directions, and I don't think head over heels counts as one.
No,
I think left to right and right to left. So.
Nice.
So anyway, karate competitors can be disqualified if their hair is deemed not clean enough.
Really?
Yeah. Now, I don't know what the litmus test is.
Now, is that because there's sticky stuff in their hair and Phil Cuzzy is reffing it?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's a white glove test or or a white sock where they kick you in the back of the head and they see if there's any residue or something. I don't know, but if you don't have clean hair, you might be disqualified at the Olympics. I don't think that's ever happened.
Probably not. Doesn't sound familiar. Cool.
Yeah.
And all right. We're just doing it too.
Well, this one, I guess it's sort of like hockey, right? If you lose your stick, you can't. I don't know. Can you just go pick it up, or somebody else has to pick it up, or something? I don't know. Maybe they just never go right away. If you are doing rhythmic gymnastics, they have like the hoop, right? They have the hoop that they use,
right?
And then they have the twirly ribbon on a stick, and then they have the ball, right, which they throw and catch and all that stuff. Well, if you lose that thing, like it gets out of your possession, you can't go pick it up.
You have to finish without it.
Yeah, which is really hard because it's the main part of the routine.
Right.
So you have to go through the motions of throwing the ball in the air, I guess, and catching it, which is good because you can never be charged with dropping it. But I think you probably lose some points.
I would imagine so. Or if you're spot on with every single move, maybe you gain points.
But maybe if you really convince them that although the ball was not there, you really did catch it.
Right.
So if you lose a prop in rhythmic gymnastics,
you can't recover.
That's it. Can't go get it. You just got to keep, and you have to keep going on. So I guess you're not disqualified. You just have to look foolish for a couple of minutes while you wave your hand around with no ribbon following you.
Right.
Which I kind of would like. I mean, I don't want to see someone embarrassed like that, but I would like to see that routine done without the prop. I think that would be good.
That'd be interesting. Very interesting. All right.
There we go.
You
Weird
got
Olympic rules.
Weird Olympic rules. Oh, I forgot to put the ticker up there. Look at that. Obelix. There you go. Anyway. All right. Harry, anything else?
Nope.
All right. Pete, you good?
Yeah. Harry's like, nope. We could have done without the last 4 minutes, too.
There you go. All right. On that note, then, we will wrap the show up for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thank you for listening. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com. And please remember, like us and follow us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And, of course, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well on the Logger Room channel. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night around 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcast, Amazon Music Podcast, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds, and you will never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.